When it comes to more narrow categories of classic arcade games, the run-and-gun subgenre comes to mind, probably most famously represented by the iconic Contra. There are absolutely some other standouts like the Metal Slug series specifically, but for the most part this class of game keeps things simple with you needing to simply run, jump, dodge enemy fire, and generally do a whole lot of shooting to stay alive, usually grabbing some power-ups along the way as well. While I normally don't dig into the history with different titles, Rendering Ranger and its unreleased cousin intended for a Western release named Targa at least has an interesting lineage and story. Developed by the same person behind the iconic Turrican series, there were big plans for it at one point, but in the end it was only released in Japan with merely 10,000 copies produced. Given its more limited and exclusive availability, that at least makes it interesting to see now a few decades later. It also helps that it is able to further distinguish itself by including some intense horizontal shooting stages amidst the platform shooting action. But how does it play overall? In my mind, that's heavily dependent on what you're looking for. If your goal is to enjoy a run-and-gun with some modern flair and refinements, you won't really find that here. If, however, you're either a big retro fan who enjoys the classic feel from the 16-bit era, or are an industry fan intrigued by the chance to own a piece of history, it may well be of interest. In general, my biggest complaint is how zoomed in the action is to your character, making the play feel a little more claustrophobic than I'd prefer. There's also a stiffness to the controls overall, and an abundance of openings in the ground that aren't always easy to spot and incredibly aggravating to fall into. Still, there's some appeal to the game's unique story, the fact that it has never been available in the West, and that it manages to sneak in a second completely different style of play in spots. Granted, aside from the general degree of difficulty that may challenge you, I can't say that there's a particular sense of need to keep coming back for more that I felt, but that will be a matter of taste. Throwing in the fact that I may appreciate the Turrican series, but was never much of a fan, that may also help you decide whether I may have a bias, and you can adjust my scoring accordingly if you were a big fan. Overall, my final score for the game ended up being a 7.1. And if you're interested in picking it up, it's currently available on the Switch eShop for $9.99. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this review. And if you'd like more information or ideas of indie games worth checking out on Switch, be sure to click on the link provided in the description. Until next time.